Hello bandits! Thanks to the folks at Binary Haze Interactive, I've been spending some time with their new dark fantasy turn-based strategy, Redemption Reapers. Redemption Reapers sees you take control of the Ashen Hawk Brigade. This small band of mercenaries is fighting against the dark forces of the Mort, an army which is ripping its way through the world and butchering humanity along the way. Redemption Reapers brings tactical and strategic gameplay to this dark fantasy world. Rather than working with an expansive army, this title instead sees you controlling just 5 members of a small mercenary force, each bringing their own unique skills and weapons. It's important to combine your abilities using both active and passive skills together in combat to overcome tough battles. While you'll have to be careful, the Ashen Hawk Brigade members don't actually die when their health reaches 0, and they'll be available for you again within the next mission. Redemption Reapers is rated by PEGI at 16 and above, and by the ESRB as T for Teen. This one is set in a fairly brutal dark fantasy world filled with violence and blood. With no online play and fairly tame language throughout, violence and blood are the main PEGI ratings to watch out for here, along with some slightly scary elements as well. Overall, our Parents' Eye View rates this one as caution advised, and it's not one which we'll be letting the micro bandits get their hands on. We found Redemption Reapers to be a little tricky at first, until combinations and use of in-game tools really clicked. After this, battles aren't easy, but certainly less intimidating than we first thought. Being able to click on enemies to see the areas where they can move and attack from allows you to position your troops effectively and makes things easier on yourself overall. With all this considered, Redemption Reapers is getting an accessibility rating of low barrier. And with that stacked up, onto the rundown. Gameplay 3. There are a lot of great ideas within Redemption Reapers, but they're let down by controls and menus which are at best fiddly and at worst outright frustrating. The mechanics, combat and strategy are great, and combining your Reaper's skills is exceptionally satisfying. Sadly, while using a controller does streamline things a little, it could definitely do with more polish here. Visuals 3. While looking over battles, the environments and characters look pretty good at first glance. However, slow motion battle animations do slip up here, and close up everything is a little ragged around the edges. Cutscenes are also a little dated, and lip syncing to the audio hasn't been redone for the English language seemingly at all. Audio 3. We must point out here that the soundtrack itself is exceptional, and the musical scores along the way have been really well created and fit the story and gameplay well. Sadly, voice acting both in cutscenes and in-game are both quite poor, including some incredibly mismatched voices, and this really does detract from the experience overall. Narrative 4. There is a pretty decent little story here, but it's hampered by stunted and badly paced audio narration and voice acting. The script is also incredibly cheesy and could have done with some work to reduce the cringe factor and really get you hooked into the story. Replay 5. If you can get past the negative areas, there are a lot of things to sink your teeth into with Redemption Reapers. Each level has new weapons and lore to pick up along the way to enhance the background story. Each member of the team earns new skills throughout your gameplay, and you can unlock more passive skills and upgrade your team as well between missions. You can also use skirmishes to go back and replay completed levels to earn more experience and upgrade your Ashen Hawk Brigade members much further. Overall, the Pixel Bandits turn-based fantasy level for Redemption Reapers is a respectable 7 out of 10. There are a lot of really good elements to Redemption Reapers. I like that each of the 5 members of the Ashen Hawk Brigade has their own unique set of skills. Combining these on the battlefield through placement and turn strategy feels good. There are also a good number of special moves, and while not super expansive, the skills upgrade tree does give you some decent options. Having characters attack with each other and having counterattacks for each encounter really makes it feel different to other titles and makes Redemption Reapers stand out. That said, there is a lot that needs polishing. This one suffers from stunted audio, cheesy scripts, subpar close-up visuals, and a controller menu system which would make Gandhi himself start swearing. This may have deserved to slip down to a rating of 6 or so, however, even with all this in mind, the unique mechanics do keep drawing me back in. If you can get past some of these elements, it can be worth it to play with some enjoyable and unique combat mechanics. As ever, in order to provide this review and our Common Sense Parents Guide, we've received 1 free copy of Redemption Reapers from the folks at Binary Haze Interactive. And that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to check out the extended review at pixelbandits.org, and keep your eyes out for more news, reviews and live streams coming soon. If you can spare enough for a coffee, every donation helps us keep Pixel Bandits ad-free and independent, and either way we'll see you again very soon, so don't wander too far.